Hello and welcome to Poll Stream, a special segment on Channels TV's election program, The Verdict. And this is where we track election, social media trends and reactions.
To be a part of the program, send your comments online using hashtag PollStream and also tweet your comments and reactions to all of our social media handles. That's at Channels TV, at Oluwamayowa and
at Victor_MBIDI. Welcome again. I'm Victor Matthias.
And I'm Mayowa Ogundele. Here's the countdown at this moment for when next we're going to have the elections.
Well, things had to change, of course, because of the postponement of the election. So that's the new countdown. You can see that on the screen. But there's also been a lot of reactions on social media. Nigerians were reacting on Twitter, on Facebook. I mean, there was just so much going on.
All night, all morning, so much confusion, I must say, on social media, because I was tracking all of this all through the night.
Real time.
Real time. You know, I was sleeping, but I was waking up at intervals.
Anxiety.
A lot of it, because some media organizations had published stories about this postponement.
Yeah, so that's the countdown: 6 days, 13 hours, 22 minutes and 15. Well,
right now,
14
13 seconds,
it's
12 seconds.
Down, exactly.
And that's how it is. You know, it's going to keep dropping until
the D-Day.
D-Day.
Yeah.
But if there's one thing we must highlight is that perhaps going forward, there's a lot to be done speaking of managing reactions, information, and just on all that anxiety that happened on social media overnight. People were tweeting at INEC so much.
INEC was trending
people were
number
angry.
one, in Nigeria and even some parts of the world.
Yes, and there's a lot to be done going forward, especially for social media.
Exactly. But let's get a sense of what Nigerians actually have been saying, of course, as regards the postponement of the elections. We actually had that question put out where we asked Nigerians to actually tell us what they feel about this new development. And this is what some of them had to say. Of course, we'll start with Facebook.
Yeah, we have Mosaic K, who said, "This is really disappointing. Good 3 years gap in order for you to arrange everything intact. Hashtag INEC."
Well, for Raymond Omori, he says, "My brother, weeks and months, and they had to wait for hours to let us know they are postponing the election." Well, let me just leave that comment out for now.
We have Kingsley Operum, who says, "Fellow Nigerians, please don't lock yourselves indoors with time." Now, this comment came in earlier. He said, "You can go to your polling unit to be sure that no voting is happening there, because nothing is impossible in this country now. Before you will be indoors, while few people vote for everybody, you may receive the shock of election results with a claim that INEC chairmen never postponed the election. That his account was hacked, election postponed. Hashtag this is Nigeria." Now, for this particular comment, Victor, it just shows how people were feeling on social media. Doubts. People were unsure what to believe, especially in this era of fake news. They needed INEC to respond on time to say these reports are true, or we're still thinking about it.
In fairness to INEC, there was a bit of a meeting going on
at the time.
Yeah, at the time, people were having all of that anxiety and sending all of those questions.
But they should have just come out to say, guys, nothing is confirmed just yet. But they didn't say anything.
Makes sense, actually.
They didn't say anything.
Yeah.
And you need to, in this world of social media, you need to manage things on the spot.
Because it's real time. And people
exactly.
Just get anxious. But another one from Felix Udo, he says, "No one is pointing to the fact that sensitive materials are now in INEC offices nationwide." He goes on to allege that broad day rigging about to commence.
Oba Michael said, "INEC has only one job to do every 4 years and still failed to do it correctly. Hashtag Nigeria decides 2019. Wow, really interesting comment, and you really can't blame people.
Not at all.
The news broke at such a late hour. Many people were asleep, and definitely, as we said, things should be done better next time. We do have a guest on Skype, Olamide Gbailo, who's a social media expert, digital media strategist. She joins us on Skype now. Olamide, can you hear us? Olamide, can you hear us?
Hi, Olamide. Oh, well, we seem not to be able to hear you. Can you check if your microphone is not on mute?
Very clear. I can hear you clearly.
All right, fantastic. Of course, I mean, I saw a couple of tweets from you, but one thing that caught my attention on Twitter was the fact that Canada was trending. Can you tell us why?
Okay, well, so there's this joke that has been going on for a while now about the elections, and that if it doesn't turn out well, a lot of Nigerians will be emigrating to Canada. So when we weren't sure of the postponement, and trust Nigerians to make a joke out of everything, and everyone just started tweeting about going to Canada, and then Canada started trending.
Are you one of those thinking of going to Canada?
Wow. Well,
I hope that's not a yes. Stay with us, sister. We're in Nigeria together.
Well, we're still here, but if we need to go to Canada, we will. But we're still in Nigeria for now.
But Olamide, on a serious note, a lot of people were looking forward to voting today. A lot of young people were also looking forward to being a part of the election process for the first time ever. Now, with this postponement, do you think that the energy may drop next week?
I think so. It is really very disappointing. We've had 4 years to prepare for this election. And, well, postponement of elections is not quite new in Nigeria, but, I mean, we expect that things should get better and better. Will people be discouraged? Yeah, but I think that after today, the momentum will also rise. But now that I'm not sure now that INEC is saying that parties can't continue campaigns, that might be an issue. But I think Nigerians are resilient and we're resolute about this election. So I think that young people will not scar, and then I think that we're still looking forward to it, and we'll turn out en masse to vote.
Yeah, so one of the comments that I saw was the fact that people actually came from abroad, to be part of the process. And I mean, they took days off from work. Some people actually traveled from Lagos to their hometowns, from Abuja to their hometowns. And I mean, this is happening. So I guess that's one of the reasons why, that's one of the reasons that informed my question, saying how enthusiastic will people be come next week? Because you can't tell your office that you're staying in your hometown or at your polling unit for that long period of time. So again, that brings to the fore the issue of diaspora voting. Do you see that happening anytime soon?
Yeah, so I was watching the press conference with the INEC chairman just a few hours ago, and then he said that that has been worked on. I mean, the law currently says that you have to vote. If you are not in Nigeria, you are not eligible to vote. But based on what the chairman said, that is ongoing. We're hoping that within the next 4 years, our legislators will, prioritize diaspora voting. I mean, I'm not sure if we're going to have it in 4 years, but the process can begin, because we cannot continue to disenfranchise Nigerians. We should be able to vote from wherever we are. And just look at the case of people traveling, from the diaspora, people traveling from Lagos or from wherever they are to go and vote. And then INEC postponed the elections 3 hours, into the night. That's really not fair on Nigerians. So I'm hoping that diaspora voting will be possible from 2023. I mean, if not all Nigerians, like the chairman said, civil servants or Nigerians who are in service outside the country should be able to vote.
All right, very well, Olamide Aigbayelo, digital media strategist. Thank you for your time on the program today.
Yeah, thank you for having me, and thank you.
Of course.
Bye.
Sure. So, talking about that diaspora voting, like you said, civil servants. So mostly those would be diplomats. That's actually something that they should be looking forward to. I mean, Definitely. Of course, yeah, I heard the chairman also talk about that earlier on. But the thing is, again, it comes back to the issue of the legislation.
True.
Yeah. So when will that happen? It's not INEC, it's actually the legislators. And that's why people keep talking about, oh, go out and vote. There are a lot of young people that are actually contesting. If you look at the statistics, number of young people that are contesting.
I guess more than ever before.
Yeah. So in 2015, I think it was about 21% of the total number of people who contested. But this time around, it has risen to about 32.4% thereabout.
Which is a good increase.
Yes, it's a good increase. And that's thanks to the not too young to run bill. You know, so that hopefully with young people, a lot more young people in legislation, the legislative houses, you know, both state and federal, that might happen.
And, you know, we just need to keep pushing. Or young people need to keep pushing and asking for the right things, asking the right questions, pushing the right buttons, and making sure that people who are elected to make this country work are actually doing what they're supposed to be doing. We need to be putting laws in place to make sure we're futuristic, so to speak. Let's not stay in the same place. Let's do new things.
Let's be optimistic as well.
Yes, we need to keep our optimism alive.
While we keep that optimism alive, we'll take a quick break and we'll be back in a moment. Please stay with Postponement.
Well, I must say I'm really disappointed by the postponement of this election. I mean, what happened to those who traveled all the way from the north, who abandoned their businesses all because of these elections? Our NYSC corpers who are out there stranded in the cold. If JAM can't be able to fix an examination between a short period of time, I mean, why can't INEC? When are we ever going to get something right in this country? Please, I urge INEC to do the needful and try as much as possible not to be intimidated by any political organization. Thank you very much.
I'm sure I speak for many Nigerians when I say I'm extremely disappointed. But then again, we all know that logistics is tied to funds, and let's ask ourselves these pertinent questions. How long did it take the National Assembly to approve INEC's budget? How long did it take the Ministry of Finance to release the budget, the funds? Now, while we're busy crucifying INEC, let's also take our time to learn lessons from this experience. It's really, really disappointing, I can tell you that, yeah.
My name is Sunday Omojuwa. I'm speaking from Lagos, Nigeria. The news of the postponement came as a surprise. It was a disappointing one and also a sad one. But to my fellow Nigerians, there is a blessing in disappointment sometimes. So, and it is better delay than to be done in a hurry. Because, you know, Nigeria, we are sensitive to all this kind of thing. Anything can happen if it is done in a hurry.
My name is Emmanuel Antonio Chuko, and I'm doing this video from Dubai, United Arab Emirates. What we heard this morning is a shock, but nothing we can do about it. So we just have to exercise patience. I want to encourage every Nigerian to exercise patience, wait till next week Saturday, and God willing, everyone will go out there and cast their vote for the favorite person, the person which they think they can take this country to the next level. God bless you all.
Who monitors the preparedness of INEC? The federal government obviously doesn't, and the National Assembly that is saddled with the oversight function should be doing this. But since election period is usually very busy for the politicians, then maybe an independent body should be set up to monitor this. That is, summon the INEC chairman from time to time asking for the updates on the preparation for the elections so that such things will not happen in the future.
It is sad to wake up to this morning event after traveling several hours, arriving where I did my PVC registration, hoping that I will cast my vote this morning, just to hear that the elections has been cancelled. This is a blow on our country, it's a blow on our democracy, considering Nigeria being the heartbeat of Africa. I just hope that we'll have a peaceful elections come 23rd February. God bless us.
I believe Nigerians should be patient with the current administration. If not the current administration, the INEC officials, they must have had a very tangible reason to postpone the election, regardless of what has happened in the past, for security reasons, for logistics, but we still have to put the blame on them for not preparing adequately for this election. However, I urge Nigerians to be positive and expectant of something great.
Thank you for staying with us. Now, do remember you can be part of this conversation. Just make your comments on the social media platforms, that is Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, using the hashtag #PollStream.
And you can also make a 1-minute video of yourself, post the same online with the hashtag Poststream, telling us how you felt about or how you still feel about the postponement. And we want to know if you're still going to vote. Try your best to go out and vote next week. Right now, we want to bring in our correspondent from Abuja. That's via our virtual reality interface. Let's bring you Terry Ikumi. Thank you so much. Terry, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you clearly.
Awesome.
Good evening.
It's good to have you back here.
Lovely to be here again.
Now, Terry, first off, a lot of people, are asking for an apology. Did INEC apologize?
Okay, I couldn't hear you clearly there, but let me just say that today's meeting with stakeholders was really, really a big one. I heard your guest earlier ask the question of why so late? And I must tell you that was almost a song at the event today. But then again, today's event, the right questions were asked. One of the questions that was asked from the political parties was why political parties were not consulted before the postponement was done. And the INEC chairman rightly explained that because of the urgency of the situation, that even he didn't know that the elections were going to be postponed until that meeting was convened. Then the political parties asked if there would be compensation, considering that they had spent a lot of money deploying agents and would have to bring them back and redeploy them. And then the INEC chairman in his response said there is no act of parliament that enables INEC to disburse money in that regard to political parties. Then there's the allegation from the PDP that a particular company that's involved in the production of the PVCs is affiliated to one of the parties, and the INEC chairman in his response said that party has been producing PVCs for years, even produced for the last election. Then the welfare of INEC ad hoc staff clearly dominated social media.
Exactly, I was just about coming to you on that.
And the INEC chairman said that was something that would be looked into. Now, before we go into some other questions that were asked, let me read out some of the things that the INEC chairman said, what he listed as the plans going forward to enable, to ensure a successful February 23rd election. He said that on Monday, there will be completion and confirmation of deployment of materials. That's on Monday, 18th of February. Yeah. Then the configuration of the smart card readers will be done from 17th to 21st of February 2018. Let me also add here that, according to him, the reason for the long stretch in the postponement of the election, why it had to be postponed by 1 week, was because the ICT team of INEC had to said they would need at least 5 days to reconfigure the smart card readers. Now, the smart card readers, according to him, are programmed to work just on election day and no other day. So that's the reason for the extension. Let me go back to his plan. He said the receipt and deployment of sensitive materials will be done on Wednesday to local governments. That's Wednesday and Thursday in the coming week. Then there will be a refresher training for ad hoc staff within the week. And then election day is sacrosanct. According to him, election day is 23rd of February. And he's quite confident that that will change anytime soon.
Well, we have to just have faith in him because definitely Nigerians are anxious at the moment,
And he's the one to get the job done.
Yeah, exactly. And, well, it's good that he's saying that, the day is sacrosanct. So hopefully we'll be looking at that. We'll be waiting to see if that will eventually come to pass, Terry.
Very well, then that's the hope. Let me just conclude by saying that most of the people who left that meeting left with the hope that they could trust INEC again to conduct a credible election, because clearly, with an election postponed just hours, and matter of fact, on election day, most people woke up to the news of the postponement. So most people questioned the credibility of INEC, but INEC, I believe, left the meeting hoping that they had successfully allayed those fears and guaranteed and assured Nigerians that the 23rd of February and the elections that would follow would be credible.
Well, we hope so too. Thank you very much, Terry Ikumi from our Abuja studio via the virtual reality interface, of course, a revolutionary technology by Channels TV. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Terry. Victor, I was the one who broke the news to my mom.
Really?
Many people around me didn't know. Well, I get perks of being in the media, I guess. You always get the news first.
Exactly.
And that's how it's been on the Post stream at this time.
Exactly.
Don't forget, join us on social media with #PostStream. I'm Ayawa Ugundele.
And I'm Victor Matthias. Thank you for watching.